Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is the eyeshadow palette tag that has been circulating all over the YouTube, and it was set up by Samantha March and Allie Glines. I will link them both down below. I know that they got inspiration from TikTok and everyone seems to be doing it. I'm doing it, however, as a collab with the lovely Hélène, who I speak very highly of here. I will link her up here and down here. So if you want to see what I chose for those categories and all of that good stuff, then we will hop into that now. So I have a palette that fits two of the categories, and that is your newest palette and your most expensive palette, and that is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I got this off Feel Unique. It's a website. You're all probably aware of it. I was not aware of it until the lovely Lisa on Instagram, who I'll also link down below, told me about it. And you can get a discount with that website if you allocate that brand as your favorite brand. So I did a get ready with me using it, and I will link that as well if that's of interest to you, just to see a first impression. But upon initial use, oh my god guys, I love the mattes. I thought when I was looking at this online that it was going to be really densely packed like Too Faced and Urban Decay. It does have a bit of kick up. I really enjoyed it. So that's my most expensive palette and my newest palette, and it came in the post yesterday, so it is the newest one to my collection. For your oldest palette, I was kind of, you know, confused as to what exactly is my oldest palette. It was between two, but it is the Urban Decay Naked palette. This is another Naked palette that I have that I got as a gift from two of my friends for my birthday. They went halves a couple of years ago and got this for me, as I had a lot of use at the time out of my other one. I dipped back into this after my palette one, and I'm back liking it again. I used up the thing and I'm still liking it. I also took some shades out of here and repressed them to make a Franken shade. Oh my god, the Franken shade is lovely. This is a really densely pressed formula. It is discontinued. I'm sure you can probably get most of those shades, if not all of them anyway. It's not the end of the world. But my favorite shade in here is in fact Half Baked. I do like them all. They are very densely packed, but that is the palette I chose as my oldest palette. I have this, oh god, 2014. I don't go by expiration. I just go by when it no longer performs, and this is fine. For your most affordable palette, okay, so here in Ireland we don't have that many drugstore options that seem to be available in comparison to the US people that's here, because I was mouth watering over the products that you can get. But it's not as accessible over here for many of them. So I chose the Makeup Revolution palette in Stripped and Bare. I've depotted the shades that no longer work. I got this from Porrick for Christmas, but I do know that these palettes are about 10 euros. No more. I don't think they're any more than 10 euros. I have used up so many of these in the past. The formula for Makeup Revolution is hit and miss. Just depends on what you get, but this particular one I'm really enjoying. And yeah, 10 euros, really handy. I kind of would love to try their avocado palette. If someone has the avocado palette, please tell me what it is like. For everyday palette, I chose the Modern Renaissance palette because I am using this every day, because I am panning it, and that is why I chose it as my everyday palette. Anything I use every day is always a Project Pan item, but I would like it to be more neutrals. But this is a fluffy formula. I got this I think in 2017. I'm not certain. I could check Beauty Bay because that's where I got it. I love this. I absolutely love it. This shimmer shade up here in Vermeer is a really nice intense highlighter. Intense, which I was surprised about. I love her formula. You've all seen this like a million times, but yes, this is my everyday palette. For your most colorful palette, I was stuck, so I picked two. I'm sorry, is that cheating? I don't know. So I picked the Sleek Eye Divine mineral based eyeshadow palette in Ultra Matte version 1, and that is it. That's it there. It is very colorful. They're all matte shades. They're kind of, would you say they're pastel-y? I don't know, but they're grand. They're perfectly good. I do actually use this quite a bit lately, which is surprising, but I really enjoy this. I will not get rid of it because I don't have that many colorful eyeshadows in my collection. And then the other one, because I was obviously stuck, which is more colorful. Which would you say is more colorful? I don't know. This is the Urban Decay Electric palette, and it is discontinued. For my smallest palette, this is the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strip in Gold Nude. And this is the smallest palette in my collection, and I got this from Hélène. I love Hélène, as you know. We're collabing together. She's from Canada. She is a lovely human being, and and her channel is genuinely interesting to watch because she's everything on it. Everything. That's it there. They're all shimmer shades. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 shades in it, and it is the smallest in my collection. The biggest palette in my collection. Oh Lord, will it fit in the frame? It's the Violet Voss Pro Ride or Die palette. Can it bend all the way back? Can it though? It is huge. Has anyone panned a Violet Voss shade? If so, what's it like? Favorite shade, sorry, but it is Stephanie. I know that's my name, but it is my favorite shade. So I'm pretty happy that they chose that shade for my name. There's duochromes in here. There's cool tones, there's warm tones, there's rosy tones, there's everywhere a tone. For a palette with the best memory, I chose this one, and it's the Coloured Rain Queen of Hearts palette. And I'm going to keep the sleeve because it's part of the decor of the packaging. And I got this again from Hélène in our swap. There it is there. The reason why this is obviously the one with the best memory for me, because in my personal life, other than like not a couple of years ago, Porrick got me a palettes for Christmas. But aside from that, I don't generally get any makeup unless I buy it for myself, you know? Because one, if it would be very difficult for people, say, to pick something for me because they wouldn't know to get the right thing. And as well as that, it's the first time Hélène and I did a swap. I've never done a swap with anyone before. It was really, really, really exciting. It was really, really special. I filmed it. It is a video. I'll link it somewhere as well. And I was nearly crying because these products aren't very accessible to me either. It was just really so genuinely special, and I will bloody always remember it. So for a palette that's worth the hype, bear with me on this one. I chose the Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions. Now, you guys have all helped me, and thank you, with the formula of this thing. I do not think that for a palette this expensive, you should have to go to the effort that I went to figure out how to work it, because it was so hard for me to figure out how to use it because it was so crumbly. I have now figured out, with your help, to use it on a sticky base or just an unset base with a sponge tip applicator. That's all. Now, you shouldn't have to do that. I know, granted, you really shouldn't. But once I did do that, guys, the colors in here are beautiful. Like, holy God in heaven, come down and take a look for yourself. But like, I totally agree. It is worth the hype for me in the sense that I get now, after having figured it out, why it's such a big deal. I really don't think it should be that difficult, but now that I know, I'll just use a sponge tip applicator. Problem solved. For a palette not worth the hype, this is the only category that I actually struggled with, and I was talking to Hélène about this on Instagram very briefly because I'm filming this video. It was difficult for me because I actually like all the palettes in my collection. That says to me I must be doing something right. But I chose the Dream Street from Kathleen Lights. The reason why I chose this is because Colourpop, again, we buy it online. So the only thing, and then you're shipping it over here and you're waiting like 2 months, a month to 2 months for it to get here. And then you're risking customs, but you have to go off online because you don't have a store to go in to swatch it or anything. And everyone and their mother and their brother and their cousin, their sister and their dog were going on about this palette and how fantastic it is. And I just think that this is really nitpicking because I really do like everything that's in my collection at the moment. This color story, yeah, it's very, very pretty. It's really pretty. This shade here is a black on my eye. It's just black on my eye. It doesn't have the blue shift. I do like the rest of the colors. I will use all of the colors. This is really just, I had to nitpick to find something for this category. I just think, in my experience, and it's just down to your own personal preference, that I could have lived without this one. When it came, I was like, gosh, it's really nice, but what was that about? You know, it kind of missed the mark for me a little bit, in the sense of I'm not quite sure what the big deal is. Colors are lovely. They're so beautiful, but what makes this even more like that it had that level of hype? So a palette from one of your favorite brands. I'm really getting into indie, But one of my favorite brands is in fact Colourpop. Yes, Colourpop again. And this is the California Love palette. And I got this last July, I'm gonna say. Look at it. Oh God, it's so beautiful. I didn't buy makeup, literally, I'm gonna say, for about 3 years, literally at all, pretty much at all. And then last 2019 was my first ever Colourpop order, and yeah, I haven't bought foundations, concealers or anything like that, but This killed me. Colourpop killed me. I went crazy. I did 3 orders, but oh God, it's so beautiful. I didn't know where to start, but yes, their palettes are totally worth it. For me, I don't have a hit or miss experience. I've always had good experiences with their formula. Everything I've purchased, which is all eyeshadow palettes pretty much, and Super Shock shadows. I haven't bought any of their complexion products. I love every single one. I know I showed you one, but I like every single one that I own. I'm really happy with the Super Shock shadows. I purchased 8. I own 8, and I think I'd like to use them before purchasing any more, because I think if you had more, that's where you'll get overwhelmed. But guys, and they're so small, and I brought some of them into work, and some of the people in work were like, what? And they're not even into makeup as much as I am. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. I love, isn't this fantastic though? Huh. So this last category was to show your most used palette, and I was kind of confused as to what to do here. So I chose 2 because you'll see why. My most used palette is my original Naked palette. Yes, you saw another one there earlier. And this one is empty. I just finished it. So yes, this is my most used palette. But like, would that count because it's now fully empty? So that's why there's 2. Then my second, I think my second most used palette is this Makeup Revolution one. The lid has broken off. And yeah, you're looking at it, it's in the matte edit, and you're like, gosh, that looks fair boring. Boring palettes are so handy for everyday use. They're just so handy. I really like this format. It's very densely pressed, this one. So even though there's like not even a full gram per pan, it took me forever to get this amount of use on it. Have you guys a palette in your collection where you're like, God, I'm so surprised I use that so much? Okay guys, that is the end of my all about my eyeshadow palettes video. I hope you go and check Hélène out and her video. I'm going to link the video down below for your viewing pleasure. It's all over the place, this tag at the moment. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you the next time.